What's up, blockheads? Welcome back to Fitch's Block Academy. We're going to do a quick mod education here on Minetraps, version 1.0.4 on Minecraft 1.12.2. Now, this mod includes a bunch of different blocks that you can use to defend your base against mobs or players on a modded server. I can see a lot of different applications for this. This also could be used to build some really cool aesthetics, especially like a modern city build or something, like with this barbed wire and everything. Anyway, let's go over all the blocks included in the mod real quick, and then we'll show you the application and practicality of these cool blocks included in this mod. Alright, the first block I want to go over here from Minetraps is the fall trap. It's basically just a pitfall trap here. You just set it up over some blocks high enough to kill another player or mob, or to badly injure them if you just want to keep them as a prisoner or something. What you do is you just dig yourself that hole there, and you can add a hazard at the bottom. I put lava down there. There's also poison included in this mod, which you could add at the bottom of the trap. But to set this thing up, you just go ahead and click them into place. And you can use any disguise block that you choose to cover up the pitfall trap. And now you have a trap there. What happens is if a mob or a player passes over it, breaks, they fall into the hazard and die. And these are relatively cheap, so these would be really great for survival. As you can see, they're just made out of sticks. The second item here on the list for Minetraps is the obstacle. Now, this is just basically a little tank barrier. It's more of like a cosmetic thing than anything else. It's something you'd find on like a D-Day beach or blocking a road there in World War II. Be pretty cool to have on any kind of server that you got a World War II theme to. Really cool that they just include that in the pack. But these are also relatively cheap, just a couple little iron ingots. Alright, the next item we have here on the list is the barbed wire. What this is made out of is just some iron ingots and an item that's made in game here. It's called nails. You just make that out of some ingots here. But the barbed wire is just as it sounds. It's barbed wire. It's meant as an obstacle to keep either mobs or players out. It does a little half-hearted damage every so often here, and you get trapped inside of it kind of like a cobweb. The next thing that you can actually make out of the barbed wire here is the razor wire. Now, let's go over that here. The razor wire is made out of 4 barbed wire, so a little bit more expensive per block, but it does a ton more damage. It's about 2.5 hearts, or a heart and a half there. Every second you're kind of stuck in there. So the razor wire will really tear you up. Awesome barrier to build bases with here. Barbed wire fence. It is made out of 2 barbed wire and some iron ingots. Does about a heart and a half damage as you get stuck on it. A really cool barrier block that you can use to build a base. The next block on our list here is going to be quicksand. Now, with this block, it's kind of like soul sand, where you sink into it almost. But it's not just like one block deep like the soul sand. You'll fall entirely through here. So quicksand, cheap as much of the other recipes are in this. You just add some gravel and sand together, you get that quicksand. And with the quicksand, your player will slowly fall through here. So you could either beat him up with a sword or mow him down with some flans guns as your opponents are sinking down in here, or you can just let them suffocate. Alright, the next item on the list here is mud. Now, with the mud, I believe it is... okay, it's dirt and gravel, just like the quicksand, but with dirt. Now, with this, it's just kind of going to slow players down running through it. So, kind of just adds to that whole thing with a good pairing with World War II type stuff, or even just like any kind of flans pack, like anything that's gun related, and you have like people slowed around your base to try to get in. You just mow them down with some stuff. Awesome feature of this mod. The next item is the spikes. These are just a redstone trap. Do a good amount of damage to players and mobs when they're activated. You can activate these with any kind of redstone, buttons, levers, and pressure plates there. Same thing with the toxic spikes, except they have a poison effect when they're applied there to the player. And they're both pretty cheap to make. The toxic spikes, you have to just make the actual toxin there. And there's multiple ways to do that. And then apply that to the spikes recipe. Which this is how you make the spikes. And that's out of those nails. Plus a pressure plate, some other good jabs. You'll figure it out. But really cool redstone traps. The nail trap now. This is more of just an annoyance, I guess. It does like half a heart every couple seconds there. Yeah, so the nail trap is just made out of a bunch of nails. These nails, you get 9 of them, so an entire crafting table's worth for 2 iron. So all cheap stuff to make. Really good, cheap war games type deal. Toxic nail. Same thing as the nails, but it has the poison effect to them. Obviously, that actually makes these a little bit more worth it because the player is going to be taking damage from the poison more than what the nail trap would ever do, even if they ran across a field of these. Now, the bear trap, I think this is super cool. I've never seen anything like this from any other mod. You get trapped here in the actual bear trap until you can like spring free of it by jumping out. But if a player doesn't know that and they're just stuck in there. Like I said, a lot of these things, or like I said with a lot of these things, you can just kind of kill a player using these because it kind of slows them down to the point where they're just super vulnerable. That bear trap is insane. It just gets a player stuck in one spot until they figure out to jump out of it. With the wall spikes, it's the same thing as those spikes over there. It's just they're at a different direction. So instead of coming up from the ground, the wall spikes just shoot out from the side of a wall. Real quick recipe for the bear trap is just going to be 2 iron ingots, those nails, weighted pressure plate. Makes that cool little bear trap. The next item here is the toxin. You can craft this with a bunch of different things here. It looks like puffer fish, rotten flesh, fermented spider. You have to work a little bit for the toxin. But this stuff, it'll mess you up. And it's great to add with those pitfall traps. Like if somebody falls into this, they have poison too for 20 seconds, nausea. Like it's a good effect to slow a player down significantly or just kill them on the spot there. Okay, now one of my favorite items here in mine traps, the actual mine. Now, this thing is made out of TNT, I believe, and some other stuff. TNT, iron, and a weighted pressure plate. So it is a little costly, definitely cool effect. Somebody steps over one of these things, near death, and just look at the damage this thing does to the environment. It's ridiculous. Now, just like the mine, it's gonna make that explosion, and I believe, yeah, the toxic mine is just 1 toxin plus the mine, but this is gonna give a poison effect when somebody steps on it. Smaller explosion, but it's gonna give off a poison effect here, not only to the player, but like the radius of this thing is like a couple blocks. I think it's like 4 or 5 blocks. It's really good to have like on a battlefield or if you're expecting large groups of mobs. It definitely does a good amount of damage to a group. Last but not least, one of the coolest items in here is going to be the chest bomb. Now with the chest bomb, this is going to be really cool for like faction servers. Like let me show you something real quick here. We'll go over the recipe here. It's literally just 1 trapped chest, which is a chest with a tripwire hook, which gets you to here where you just add 1 TNT to it. But if we added chest here side by side, they aren't going to connect to each other because it's two different kinds of items, but you can barely tell the difference between the trapped, or I'm sorry, the chest bomb and the regular chest. This would be super cool for like a factions war. If somebody's trying to raid your base and then all of a sudden they open this chest bomb, boom, you're almost done for. And if you had like multiple of those next to each other, it's gonna cause some damage or kill the player trying to raid you. So definitely an awesome feature to have for faction servers here. Now real quick, I just wanted to show you guys what all these items kind of look like when you put them together. Like, imagine trying to rush a base and there's mines outside, you're getting blown up left and right. Like, trying to attack a base with all these items put together just really creates a defense. Like, you got the poison mines, the mines, like, before you even get to these frontline defenses here. And after that, I got the mud set up here with the nails. You know what, I could put myself in survival, but I really don't know if I'll last very long. But like trying to get here through the mud while I'm, and then with these pitfalls, like they're so well disguised. Kind of broke it up so you can see it into there, but you get trapped in a bear trap, you finally get out of that thing, jump straight in those pitfalls. There wasn't a bridge there, just a bunch of poison under there. And like, I think you can see what I mean here with like the defense of even my igloo here. I had some guns somewhere around here. Like, just imagine sitting here with like some flans guns and people are trying to rush in through the bunkers and you're out here like tossing nades at them. I got the entire bunker trapped here with these spike things. The wall spikes, I'm sorry. And that'll hurt you, do a good amount of damage if they get through the defenses into your bunker here, but being able to like watch people struggle through these traps as you're laying down some fire on them with some flans guns and some nades, beautiful. And then somehow they even get through those defenses, they're gonna sink in your quicksand right outside the base. This mod is like the perfect pairing with flans. Like these items should have been included in flans originally. And just to show you guys, like at night, like look at all these mobs. They can't even get through one layer of these defenses. Mine Traps has successfully helped us defend the igloo. Like I said, just God, watching these mobs get mowed down. Hopeless to get through. Oh, one set off a mine over there. Just an awesome defensive mod. A pairing in heaven with flans. This is Fitch here. I hope you guys enjoyed the review here of Mine Traps. Learning a little bit about it and its applications and how well it can defend a base. So you just watch all those mobs die there in the background. If you liked the video, just go ahead and leave me a like down below. Subscribe if you want to see more of my content. Please comment below for any suggestions that you have. I will leave a link in the description for the download here for Mine Traps. It's around like 30K right now. Rex Raptor did a great job of this. Check out his other mods. They're all excellent. I'll be doing mod reviews or mod educations on them later. But for right now, this is Fitch Lions reminding you, Hakuna Matata, don't swim in lava.